All right, our next speaker is Edith Onderick-Harvey with Leadership Through Whitewater.
Hi, good morning, everyone. So I always like to start this with a couple of questions so I know a little bit about the group I'm talking to. So how many of you in the past year have introduced a new product, a new service, changed the way you work, and heard from your clients, there's still more, there's still other different things we want and need? Yeah? All right. How many of you on any given day or week have heard yourself say, I wish there were more hours in the day? Last question. How about having heard yourself say, no, I really wish I had more to do. I just don't feel like I have enough on my plate. So welcome to the innovation-hungry, time-stretched, multitasking world of work. When I wrote Getting Real, I was working and still continue to work with a lot of leaders out there who I see are dealing with far more complexity than they have ever dealt with in the past. Change is a constant. It's really like they're leading through whitewater. And if anybody's ever been whitewater rafting, the experience goes something like this. You're kind of going down this nice, gentle river, everything's good, really doesn't, you're doing things in the boat, but there's not anything too terrible that you're going to do to upset things. And then you hit the whitewater. You've got 8 people trying to figure out, am I supposed to paddle this way? Am I supposed to lean that way? What am I supposed to do? Where am I supposed to go? What happens if this guy falls off the boat? And you're trying to make sense of it all. So there are things that you can do that maybe are going to work, and there's some things you're going to do that probably are not going to work. And so what I wanted to do was equip leaders with those things that would help them deal with this whitewater and really do those things that would get real results for them. We hear every day, well, do this, do that, try this, try that. But there's sort of a select few things that really work, when you're working in a changing environment. I've been doing work around change for about 20-some odd years and have seen it change immensely. Way back in the day when I started this kind of work, change was you went into these huge organizations, they were putting in a new information system, right? It was going to change a little corner of the world and a little corner of the organization in a big way at that time, but it was pretty discrete. Now when I meet with people in organizations and meet with leaders, we've got that type of change going on. We're reorganizing, we're introducing new products, we're getting old products off, we're retooling this, we're opening in new markets, and the change is within the change and within the change. So the complexity is unreal. So as I'm going to talk with you over the next hour or so about really effectively leading change, about getting real about leading change, I want to share first some truths that we know about change so that we're all on the same page. So truths about change. Number 1, when uncertainty is happening, we don't look to ourselves and our own judgment to try and figure out that uncertainty. We look to other people. So when things are uncertain, our brain goes to a really primal place. There's a little bitty thing in the middle of your brain called the amygdala. And this is where people call it the reptilian brain. This is where your emotions live. This is where the fight or flight response happens. And when things are uncertain, the messages from that part of the brain starts to ramp up, right? It's like, oh, warning, warning, something going on here, not liking this, what are we going to do, what are we going to do? And it overrides some of our cerebral cortex's intellectual capabilities to say, hold on, this is what we're going to do, this is how we're going to move forward to make this happen. And so we start looking around the outside for cues, saying, well, what's that guy doing? What's that person over there doing? What, maybe I should do that too. And so as a leader, your role is to be that person, to help provide some guidance for people during that time of uncertainty. The other thing is people abhor a vacuum. Make sure you're giving them great information. We'll talk about what some of that great information is. Third, buying into change is not an intellectual activity. It is an emotional one, right? When we are in organizations, how many of you have ever been in an organization where most of the conversation is about what's going to happen, how it's going to happen, when it's going to happen, and here's the facts and figures, right? Rolling out the project plan. Here's the project plan for us. That's not the stuff that makes people buy into it. It's talking to that emotional part that really rings true for people. And people go through those emotions at different rates. You have your people who are the early adopters, the people who are on the bus really quickly, leading the charge. You have the people down here who are digging in and resisting. No matter what you say, they're thinking, really? We're doing this again? And you've got a really big part of your people in the middle, 60 to 80% of your people who are kind of sitting on the fence a little bit, going, well, could be a good thing, could be a not so good thing. And how this goes is how I'll decide whether I become one of these adopters or one of these resistors over here. And so making that emotional connection, making them really, really feel that they're part of it is so critical. So we'll talk about that as well. And then finally, how change happens is not what you think. I'm going to leave you with one last image about change that I want you to think about. So imagine that it's a beautiful, sunny day, and you're at the amusement park, and you get on the roller coaster, and you're going slowly, slowly, slowly up that first hill. And as you're reaching the top of the hill, you're thinking, okay, I know there's something on the other side. I'm not really sure what this is going to be like, but I'm strapped in, and I'm ready to go, right? We're kind of aware that there's something going on, but not quite sure what. Then you reach the crest of the hill, and you start to go down. And as you speed up, the questions start getting into your head. Really? Why did I do this? Why did I listen to my brother? What am I doing here? You know, and as you start to pick up even more speed and get to the bottom, you're thinking, the brakes aren't going to work. This isn't going to happen right. This is only going to end up badly. I'm going to fall out of the car, right? And you're in this place where you're just saying, I'm really angry about this, and I don't know why I did this. This was a stupid, stupid idea, right? But then you start to come out. You start to come up to that other side. You start to climb the hill again, and you're thinking, well, okay, I kind of know what this is like now. I think I could do this. This could be all right. They have it figured out, obviously. The brakes worked. We didn't come off the tracks. Things are going well. And I'm good with this. I'm going to do all I can to enjoy the rest of the ride and get ready for what that next hill looks like. So your goal as a leader is to move people out of that trough where they're saying, why in God's name am I doing this? To that other side saying, let's get ready for the next one and let's move this forward.